welcome to Command Center, your video game book club podcast. My name is Daniel, and with me is...
Nate Lamb, sitting on the left side of the desk.
Book Clabe.
Book Clabe.
Did you say it?
I did not say Clabe.
I know, no. I'm Book Clabe.
Oh, you are Book Clabe.
His name is actually Boo Clabe. Oh, Boo Clabe. Yeah, you're right. I got to talk to the mic.
Yeah, talking to the mic. That's like 101.
Yeah, well, you stole my mic stand. You got the good one over there.
I mean,
this tiny little dinkerdoodle.
You two went into the actual, whatever the hell it was, in Orlando, the Podfest or whatever.
Podfest. Before you continue on that, can we talk about Nate's little dinkerdoodle?
I was like, nobody's going to bring that up? All right, I'll just let my little dinkerdoodle
I guess my mind
slide.
shut it out like most of the things he says.
Yeah.
So.
He blocks out my dinkerdoodle a lot.
So you might notice that Nate's little dinkerdoodle is kind of echoey, so I want to apologize ahead of time. 2/3 of us have moved. I moved out of a place, I moved into a new place, and then Nate moved into the place that I was previously occupying, and now we're in sort of an empty room.
Which used to be my old room 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's all convoluted,
yeah.
but we're not inside the command center now.
We're in the CIC.
The CIC,
which is currently the CIC for combat information crap everywhere.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah,
if you watch our YouTube, you'll see.
But the thing is, steal the cables on
it was nice before.
Yeah, we disassembled it to record completely.
I mean, yeah. So
mistakes were made, desks were disassembled, an angle grinder is needed.
Also, I'm up against this rotted wood. I just remembered.
Was it Nate's dinkerdoodle?
Up against the wood.
All right, I'm gonna have to do this. All right.
Do what?
I have to introduce the game that we were supposed to play last month.
Oh yeah, I played some.
I think we all played some.
As did I, Munition.
You didn't move.
What?
We talk about that? You didn't move. I don't know how much you played. You probably played a lot more than me though.
Let me introduce the goddamn game first.
No.
So what we played, or should have played, and what you guys played, or should have played, was Grim Fandango. Grim Fandango, yeah. Grim Fandango.
Groomed fat dingus.
Grim Fat Dingo.
Groomed fat dingo.
Fingers.
Grudge Fudge Dungus.
It was. This is a adventure game released in 1998. I think all three of us played the remaster, which came out in 2015. Developed and published by LucasArts. Directed by Tim Schafer, famous for Psychonauts, Brutal Legend, and The Secret of Monkey Island, and its successor, Secret of Monkey Island 2.
And who was also not Latino, which we'll get into that later.
Man named Schafer, not Latino.
Oh, imagine
Schafer, yeah.
So this game was critically acclaimed, and it's on a lot of best PC games of all time lists, but was a commercial flop. And so a lot of people are saying that, or say that it was one of the reasons that LucasArts decided to get out of the adventure game business, and I think that's right. What did you guys think?
I'd never played an adventure. No, I played King's Quest for like 3 hours. Got nowhere in it. It was fun. The storyline was fantastic. It did. I won't say it made me feel dumb, but there were times where I was like,
it made me feel dumb.
Yeah, you got a lot farther than me, but like there were times where I was like, what do you bet I have to go back and show this picture to that guy I talked to earlier? That's like 3 minutes of my life to run over there. So I'd just look up a walkthrough to make sure that's what I had to do before I did it. And then there were other times where I was just completely stumped. Like, all right, I'll put the fire extinguisher in the mail slot. Maybe that'll work. And it's like, it's not on fire. Like, I know it's not.
I remember watching Jason do that part. Yeah. It was a lot of fun to me. Because I had this game when I was a kid, and I never got very far at all. Like, I maybe once got out of the starting area, but I would just keep on playing that part over and over, so I knew all that, like, by heart. Mm-hmm. So it was just funny to see you guys just fucking around with it, like, I'll just take an empty balloon and shove it in this thing.
Yeah, the same part that Nate was talking about. I was just rubbing balloons on this friggin' door.
I got every animal and tried to give it to the secretary. Like, maybe she wants a specific balloon animal.
I was like, I know I'm supposed to wedge something here, but I don't have it.
I didn't even think to get the dead worm, because I was like, the dead worm's going to be an empty balloon. I'm not going to let this guy fuck with me. And, like, that you needed two of the dead worms. Yeah.
He fucked with you.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But overall, what do you think?
I liked it. It's one of the few games I think I'll play some more. I mean, like Kerbal and we didn't do Factorio. A lot of the other games that I already played regularly. This one I think I might boot up from time to time just to see where the story goes, because it does have, like, I feel for Manny. I legitimately enjoyed playing around as Manny, which is the main character.
Yeah, the writing was incredible.
Yeah, it was the writing, and then like the fact that it's everything's not around, but they've got regular references to the Day of the Dead celebration, and you are an actual skeleton who plays as the Grim Reaper. It was just like a lot of tongue-in-cheek, really cool humor that I liked.
Which is his name is Manny Calavera, and I didn't know this until recently. Calavera means skull in Spanish.
Ah.
Found that out very recently. Also, I found this out when I was doing the research for this game. I got about halfway through. I was just about finished with Act 2. There's 4 acts in it, each one being a different location. So I was in Rubacaba.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to finish that, and the move happened and all that, so I kind of got sidetracked. But like you, I will go back to it. But I didn't realize that a year passes in between each act.
Yeah.
Exactly a year. So every time you play, it's the Day of the Dead.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't get that on the first time through.
Yeah, I didn't expect a time jump at all.
Yeah.
That threw me off when I got to that. I was like, 1 year later, what the?
Yeah,
oh, come on.
You leave, it's the Day of the Dead, that's where the balloon guy's there, then you go and you finally get the job sweeping the floors, and a year passes. And
now you own the place.
Yeah.
And it's a club. I think my favorite part about the game, not only the fact that it's super hard, which I'll get to later, but the atmosphere. It feels like playing like a funny version of
L.A. Noire?
No. I mean, of noir films. But more specifically, it feels like definitely like Casablanca. They have that in there when you come down the stairs at the club, and Gladys is there in the white suit, playing the piano.
The guy who composed the music said he based it off of like the music from Casablanca.
Mm-hmm, yeah, it's like that mixed with like Mexican influence, which is like super cool. And I know that the soundtrack is like, even if you haven't played the game, it's supposed to be really, really good just to listen to. I think they melded all that shit together. Just the whole like all the Art Deco and everything. I just like that kind of feel.
Yeah. Good.
I just thought when I was looking things up, I was a lot of people smoke in that game because it's supposed to be like a noir film. Everyone smoked back then. Apparently, in the manual for the game, it like said because it's a video. It's a video game, so it's for kids, I guess, kind of. Yeah. And it said in there like, please take note that all the characters who were smoking are dead.
Yeah, you can't do that. I did like that, like. A few times I'd walk away to go to the bathroom or everything else, and I'd hear like, and I'd look back and there'd be smoke going around. Because I never saw him pull out a cigarette, and I'm sure you could if you just sat and watched him. But I was always walking away because I was going to do something or grab something.
Like smoke a cigarette?
Yeah. No, usually take the dogs out. But no, once to go over to help you route a wire. So then we smoke cigarettes. But yeah, I'd come back to him like, and put the cigarette away. And for a minute I was like, it's too old of a game, and I don't have any input other than my microphone. For the game to know I'm gone and have him like hide the cigarettes. I was a little drunk that night.
I was hearing that the entire time when I was playing. I was like, me, I'm not going to get up. So, but eventually I looked over, I was like, all right, what the fuck is that noise? Mm-hmm. And I looked over, he left his PC on.
It was also on the casino. So Manny's smoking, and in addition, this guy was calling out the roulette table numbers over and over and over and over. My bad. I could have easily. I had paused it. And then I unpaused it because I was going to eat before I went over to Daniel's, and then I just forgot to pause it when I left. That was my bad.
But you still ate.
Oh, yeah. Oh. I literally got more cheese and crackers right here. The minute you go to hell, I get to eat cheese and crackers. So go to hell.
I mean, we
listeners and viewers
from this game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm certainly going to be stuck in the 8th circle for a while. I don't know about you guys. What am I saying? I do know about you guys, and I'll see you there. I will see you in hell!
So the 9th circle is just Judas, Brutus, and Cassius, right? Like, you can't really get there in Dante's Inferno.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, Jesus.
I don't know.
Wrong for him. Sorry. So back to the video game.
Et tu, Nate?
Et tu, Nate?
Playing this kind of made me... I know that Nick is a big fan of the Monkey Island games. And it always sounded stupid to me. I'm like, I'm not going to play a game called The Secret of Monkey Island.
It's supposed to be great tongue-in-cheek humor and, like, really solid writing. And that this came out after, yeah?
Yeah, so the guy who made it, Tim Schafer, it was the assistant director for the Monkey Island games. And after playing this, now I'm like, okay, maybe there is something to that. It's just a stupid name for a game that makes it sound
Escape from Monkey Island,
like a children's game.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's probably not. Now that I look at like his later work,
especially watching or playing Grim Fandango. I had never played Grim Fandango before, and I just watched you play this game, and now going back and I was like, this is definitely not for kids. For one, how was a kid ever supposed to solve like half of those fucking problems? And not only that, the smoking was another thing. I think the main menu was a cigarette.
Well, when this came out,
Yeah, there was smoke.
There was still smoking on TV and movies and stuff. It wasn't
magazines.
Yeah,
there wasn't
quite
that
as
big tobacco push. Yeah,
exactly.
Well,
So
there
it
wasn't
wasn't
the push from big tobacco. There had yet to be the counter push.
It wasn't.
yeah.
It wasn't so
truth or
stigmatized.
whatever. Is that what is the truth?
Yeah, but that was paid for by tobacco money.
Well, they have to.
do a settlement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing that stuck out to me though was the voice acting and the soundtrack. Apparently, for the remaster, I think they didn't have an orchestra, like a full actual
They did.
orchestra.
The Melbourne Symphony Orchestra in the remake.
In the remake,
yeah.
But in the first go around, they didn't. But the second go around, apparently, the company that Tim Schafer made for gaming did another game.
What was it? Take Two or something
Something
like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Jamie.
What do we have for Johnny?
A brand new Wikipedia.
So they had worked with him on another game, and they were waiting on. I think this is when Disney bought, all LucasArts and everything. Somebody from the development went to Disney and was like, "Hey, nobody's doing anything with this. Can we have this and release for a remaster?" And Disney was like, "Fuck it, okay." And gave it to them. We're like, "All right, we're gonna redo it." And they took the budgets from other games that they built. And they tapped the orchestra. Was like, "Hey, we're doing a remaster. Can you also do the soundtrack, redo the soundtrack with us?" And they did, and it shows. It was no wonder that I didn't do it, but now I really wish I did. Was bought the soundtrack along with the game because they were
Same here.
Both.
Same here. I regretted that.
Yeah.
So Tim Schafer is still with the company he founded in 2000, which is Double Fine. Who is
Double Fine?
That's who released the remaster.
Yeah.
I thought. So the original game came out in 98?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought for sure, I remember Double Fine being around, but maybe, I don't know. But yeah, they,
he left LucasArts
in January to found Double Fine,
Yeah.
And that's when Psychonauts came out.
The thing about it, and I agree, the soundtrack was phenomenal. I never got sick of hearing the songs. They really added to the atmosphere. And it's cool that they re-recorded with a full orchestra, but I didn't know that they had re-recorded it until I was told that. And it all sounds the same to me. I don't know. I couldn't tell any difference between.
I'd like to watch a comparison.
I'm sure that maybe my memory is muddled from when I used to play, but I didn't hear any difference whatsoever.
Yeah, you did a lot more math back then.
So what I did was, and I planned on it right from the get-go, was Gecko?
Right from the get-go.
Right from the Government Employees Insurance Company.
Wow, I never knew that acronym.
Gecko.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it was an acronym, but I guess I just never knew.
You can also say 15% or more.
Yeah, 15 minutes out.
Anyway,
Safer, cheaper, and better.
So it's a 3-part on. Hold on, I wrote it down on YouTube channel GameSpot trailers. They did the making of the remaster of Grim Fandango, and I watched it right before the recording of this, and there were just very subtle things that they did with the soundtrack, where there was guitars put in, like a acoustic guitar put in, where in parts it wasn't, and
so when you saw shit and it goes da-da-da, that was that part of the remaster that wasn't in the original?
No. It was more in the actual songs, I think. Okay. I don't know. I mean, maybe it was, but
I'm gonna quote you in front of a Senate subcommittee.
I am the Senate.
His name isn't. Wait, what was the name you had? The name you gave for this episode. Remember? Yeah, the name.
The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
when we introduced ourselves, he chose a funny name.
Oh, it was
Book Claim?
Yeah, Book Claim.
It's actually Sheev, isn't it?
That was such a build up for such a
I
terrible
don't know
joke.
I just wanted to know what his made up name was. I don't know.
Alright, where the hell were we?
I don't know.
I was looking up Bill Schafer, Tim Schafer, and just
Bill Schafer, Tim's brother, who just never made a video game in his life.
Bill Shaver, his cousin.
Funny thing, I actually looked up Bill. I couldn't remember the dude's name. I was like, I looked up
Bill Shaver.
Before. I was like, no, that's not him.
Well, now begin our 30-minute interlude on Bill Shaver.
I did have a question though. Who is Bill Shaver?
I'll look it up for you.
I think he's an actor.
I've looked up Bill Shaver. It's a metals company. And
metals company. Like
Chief Operating Officer of
they make metal.
Investment Metals.
That's Bill
Incorporated.
Shaver.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was looking up. It's Bill Shaver.
Bill Shaver.
Bill Shaver.
Or that's like earlier today. I looked up Al Borland because we didn't know if that was his real name or if that was.
This old house is now hosted by Al Borland. Is it a real guy or a character?
But that's not his real name. So he's hosting the show. He's the dude playing the dude disguised as another dude.
His real name is Boar Allen.
Oh man. So back to Grimmish Figgish Diggish. The guy who did the voice acting for Manny, I think, made the fucking game.
Yeah.
Because
he was so real.
Honestly.
Yeah, all the voice acting was great,
yeah.
but like obviously you're going to hear Manny more than anybody else, and especially for the time.
it was like a Suave Banderas. Like, not Suave, but like a...
Banderas is already...
Yeah,
Sorry.
He's Zorro,
I
goddammit.
thought the word Antonio and immediately just lost my mind out of Suave. It was like a sarcastic Banderas, one who had a bit more of a chiding sense of humor, but was also still suave. I loved, he would say shit, and it's like, I was thinking that. Like, I literally was about to make a joke at this game's expense, and the avatar of the player made it for me. I was like, alright, that's on point. I liked that a lot.
I loved how they make you like Manny, too, because it's not just because, obviously the voice acting is great, and you kind of feel for him, but right off the bat, you feel like something isn't right. And then you get to the part where I don't remember the exact conversation, but it was right after you
you lose the woman that you...
Yeah, you lose the woman and you're getting yelled at, and he's saying something about like, what do you mean I couldn't? She's supposed to be valuable. All my searches didn't find diddly squat for her.
Yeah.
And then that other dude, other dude did that whole like, and I was like, all right, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, these motherfuckers have been messing with my searches.
To what end, though? Like, I get it that, like, but...
Well, you had to keep going.
No, and but the whole motivation... Oh, yeah, that's right. I never made it past Act 2, so that was...
Well, it wasn't... It was also in Act 1. They said that it was... People wanted to stay in hell.
Yeah.
They found their pleasures in hell by making currency there, basically. So they were kind of like...
So they're taking the tickets that they have on that number 9 train or whatever and selling them to other people in the underworld to get whatever that's their currency,
Yeah, and that's why, like, a lot more people aren't getting this... A lot more people have been walking there instead of taking their actual routes.
Right. So I got about halfway done, and I had played this game forever. I haven't finished. I'm going to finish it even after this.
Same here. I'm going to keep going.
We'll come back to it in the sit rep.
Yeah.
But I when I was doing my research tonight, I read that not only is this game on like a lot of best games of all time lists, but it was on one list. I think that IGN did it, and it was I think maybe number 4 of like the top 10 best endings to video games of all time.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So like now I feel like I already wanted to finish it. Now I'm like, fuck. Now I really have to.
Maybe there is a reason why there isn't a sequel. Maybe it does have like a definitive.
So they had asked Tim Schafer about doing sequels, and he had said that he really only likes to work on new things. And
that's horseshit. He made a remaster.
Well, he didn't do it.
Oh, yeah.
But
that'd be a cool thing though, having the original lead game designer at your company as a resource, not on your project, so you could go ask him questions.
What do you mean he didn't do it? He was there.
His company did, but he may not have worked on it directly.
He didn't really work on it. I mean, you're just remastering a previous game, which
That's true,
interestingly enough, though, they had all kinds of problems because back then, the coding was different and it was a lot less stringent. It was kind of the Wild West as far as like coding goes.
Yeah.
So when they went to go remaster, they either had antiquated code that they couldn't translate, or just chunks of the code were missing. So they had a person go back, find every single person that worked on the game, track them down, and be like, "Did you happen to take any of this code with you when you left the company back in 1998 when Undertaker threw Mankind off Hell in a Cell?"
I was waiting for it. God damn it! I was literally thinking like I can make a testicular torture joke, or I can make the unmet because the game came out in '98. God damn it!
But that
you, sir, get the hat of the ground fat dungus.
That really did happen though. So they had to track these people
the
down.
Undertaker threw Mankind off the top of the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, that. But they tracked these people down and got the code back from them and had to like piece it all together. In a lot of cases, they had to actually go back to the concept drawings to see what they were trying to do.
And then just
because
rewrite it.
Yeah, in the video I was watching, it's really funny because you know that old joke, or like in CSI and all the ones where
Enhance.
zoom, enhance.
Yeah.
That is literally what they had to do.
Why is it still pixelated?
It's like
It just zooms in. You don't create pixels.
it's nuts. Like they literally had to. I didn't think. I always thought it was like, that's a joke. But
Yeah.
I mean, they were doing. I mean, it is pretty much a joke on like an actual picture.
Yeah, they did the zoom. They didn't do the enhance.
Yeah, but exactly.
What did I miss there?
I don't know.
So I just looked down and you guys were
Yeah,
for each other.
that's what we do.
Um,
Wait, man, I was. Shit, I was gonna say something else about Bill Shaver.
Yeah.
We're gonna change his name officially right
the mankind throwing Undertaker off Hell in a Cell.
now.
Distracted.
It definitely kind of like threw me off the
Yeah.
thing, but it worth it.
Hell
Worth it.
Hell in a Cell, 1998. Crashing through an announcer
Yeah,
table.
you're not the kid who's saying it louder in class and people laugh. It's
I know, I'm
done.
saying it quieter.
It's done. Bill Shaver, though, there was something I needed to say about this man, and now I've completely lost it.
So, adventure games as a whole are a pretty old genre. They're one of the originals. It started as like text adventures in like 76 and shit.
Yeah.
That's why I've always wanted to I want to get into them so bad, and I can't. Like, I don't know how many times I've tried the Zeldas, and it's like, I do not like puzzle solving. I do like puzzle solving when it's a challenge, but when I'm sitting down to solve puzzles, it just bothers me. But
did you not like Portal?
no, I love Portal. And that's, I know, right? But Portal was...
It's more geometry
And the story, the driving force, so there's a lot of geometry and a lot of math in it. But, not math, but just, geometry. But
Math.
the driving... No, that's not right. The driving storyline of Portal, and then my driving urge was there's more storyline. I want to see what's happening. Like, right when I was starting to get bored with Portal is when you found the first, cubbies behind the panels, where somebody clearly had set up a little house. And, that drove me through. But, Western adventure games kind of petered out. And this was near the end. I mean, I don't know how late they went. Apparently King's Quest was still releasing up into the 2000s in 3D. Didn't know that. But, Escape from Monkey Island was 2000. And 2005 was...
Well, this is also around the time where, 3D graphics were becoming a bigger thing. And if you're going to have 3D graphics, why waste it, quote unquote, on a basically a point and click adventure?
Also gaining a much larger appeal. And by and large,
people wanted action at the time.
And they don't want to feel dumb. Puzzle games are hard.
This is pre 9/11. We were all about extreme X Games and fun. And, so
90s!
Mountain Dew and Doritos, baby. And Grim Fandango.
In 2012, Schaefer said, if I
do a Slim Jim.
If I were to go to a publisher right now and pitch an adventure game, they would laugh in my face. The industry has moved on because there's more money elsewhere because of the graphical improvements and everything.
I just remembered what I was going to say about Mr. Shaver.
Well, hold up. I need to talk about the Nancy Drew Adventure series. No,
do you? Yeah. That was the sound of Nate slamming his laptop for some fucking reason.
Yeah. It's a mighty Dell. It needs to be slammed around every now and then.
So not only did he say that he really only likes to work on new projects, but he did say, I think it was more recent, I think it was 2018, someone else on a panel or something asked him about it because there's a big following for this game. And he said that the only way he would do it now is if it was an open world kind of adventure game.
Yeah.
God.
A la GTA. So an open world, I don't know, multiplayer, but something that you can go through and just pick where you go and what you do. But I think that would just betray the spirit of the game. I don't think it would be anything like the original. I don't see how you could possibly do it.
No, the only way I can think of is, but it's already kind of like that. We were just talking about that with the difference between Fallout 3 and Fallout in New Vegas, where Obsidian, which made Outer Worlds, and also Knights of the Republic 2, they go where it's kind of open world, but it's still
linear,
and linear.
You can go anywhere you want.
And that's how gritting fat dinguses is like.
It's not open world whatsoever.
It's more, but it has that feel of openness, but you're still like
it's a large level design. Is what I would say.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you have to check box A to move to box B. They in the first act they lock the doors downstairs until you've completed the first step, which is to get into the boss's office, and then they open the door and then the other door one at a time. So they're controlling, and it works in puzzle solvers because if you had access to all, just imagine the first act. You've got access to where the pigeons roost. You've got access to both of the downstairs rooms. You've got access to the boss's office all at once. You would have access to all these different things you could do, and none of it would make sense because you wouldn't have a motivation without piecing it out. But there is a way to do it. I don't know how, but I feel like there could be, if you think about New Vegas, where I can wander wherever the hell I want. Like, I can go north from the start area, go past the keep out signs, and get my ass murdered by all the landmines that are in that field. I actually never went that way. Followed the rules. But you can go out of order, and it's not as cool as 3, where you can just say, fuck your quests, or Fallout 4, fuck your quests, I'm going to go do whatever. But there would be a way to do it. You would just have to...
Well, they're just completely different games. This is a very linear story-driven game, whereas things like Fallout and Skyrim and all that, you have your main story, but there's a side quest. There's no side quest in this game.
No, yeah.
You just have your main quest.
No, at all. Yeah.
I don't see anything like that ever happening.
I don't think it would, but I feel like there's you could make it work. It just...
Why would you, though?
Yeah, you would end up putting guns
What's
in
the
it
point?
and making Fallout.
This is the game that probably nobody is asking for, is what we're talking about.
Today we are asking, America,
do you want a GTA-style Grim Fandango?
Without the guns, but with all the cops.
And a lot of cigarettes, a lot of cigarettes.
Cigarettes!
Hey, they had guns. They had the guns that shot the seeds.
I didn't get that far.
So, like, in
the guns that shot the seeds, those were bones.
In the Land of the Dead, the way you can have a death within death, they shoot guns that have seeds in them, and it's called sprouting someone, and flowers sprout out of them, and then they die.
We only saw it when...
you see it quite a bit.
Yeah, I think you said it when... It has to be before the forest. When the boss gets shot by the
Oh yeah.
Okay, I did see that where they and he turns into flowers.
It happens a couple times. So this game, I think, and again, I have never gone to like Act 3 and 4, but Act 2 feels 100% different than 1. I thought 1 was really hard, relatively speaking. Because it's a lot of trial and error.
Yeah.
Some things are just obvious. And then there's some things where it's like, I'm just going to have to trial and error this thing until I figure it out.
Because there's a series of ties hanging off a roof. I'm going to climb that and see what's up there.
Right.
Exactly.
But then, so specifically where I got stuck, and this is the first time I had to like look up a hint or a guide. It's in Rubikava, and you have to do this like weird, intricate number of things in order to finish it, in order to get past this one piece of the puzzle. And it involves you find a betting slip and you give it to Glottis. There's no reason you'd ever know to do that. You give it to him, and then he goes to the club, and then he gets drunk, and he starts betting. And then you have to...
Betting. Gotcha. I heard betting.
Betting on the racing cats, where they have there.
Oh.
And then you have to... And then he runs out of wine. So then you have to, like, go into the kitchen area and use your scythe to open up the top of like a big wine cask, and then you have to hide in it, and then you have to do like, it's like, I tried for like maybe 45 minutes to figure this out, but it wasn't even an interactable object. You couldn't click on it. You just had to walk up a ladder that wasn't interactable and happen to realize that you could like click the scythe on it, and then happen to realize you can get in. But there was no indication that it's even a thing that you should do.
Yeah.
Whereas when in the first act
you can see it's as you hover over it. That's
or you can just figure it out. Like in the first act, like
Yeah.
I have to get that switching machine to stop. Mm-hmm. What can I do? This is just like, okay, bet it. Glottis is sitting in a bar getting drunk and betting. I have no idea where to go from there. And on top of that, now you're in a place where there's like 10 different buildings, and you don't even know if that's the place you got to be searching.
Not only that, you still have items from the previous acts that will work in the next act.
It blanked all mine out.
Did it?
When I got to Act 2, because I was looking for my cat balloon and my, I don't know.
I think you start with the scythe, and then you pick up a letter.
All I ended up was
that giant manifesto from the...
Yeah.
Speaking of
scythe in the picture. Right?
Can we talk about that? That was honestly very satisfying to me that not only was the secretary a spy, but that whole scenario was happening because, as I was saying before, like you figure out that like shit isn't right at this company, and Manny's been getting fucked over,
and there's an underground,
and there's actually people trying to do something about it, and then Ava, the secretary, who's they're always having a nice rapport with, is actually one of the spies as well.
They do a hint to that too in the first act. You have this chance to go down a text chain with her when you're trying to get access to the boss, get him to sign something and he's not there. And you could say something like, oh, you'll always be my secretary. She's like, I've never worked for you before. And then you say something like, oh, come on, I know you're working for another man. She goes, Manny, what do you mean? Yeah. And she's all nervous. It's because she's working for the guy underneath the house or underneath the building.
The underground.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, man. Did you guys get to Act 2?
I didn't. I
got to the beginning.
I got to Act 2. Yeah.
You got to Act 2, and Jason.
I literally just got to reading that dude's manifesto, and then.
Wait, is Act 2 not
Rubalcaba?
It's Rubalcaba. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I got basically. I was just exploring the casino after the year had passed.
Okay, so you never met the CDs.
No.
Okay.
I think the last thing you did was find out that dude's wife is cheating on him, the guy who's sweeping, and then you get his sweep, his desk job, his broom, and
I think it's technically still Act 1 because you haven't.
Oh, was that still Act? Oh, yeah, that's right. That was still Act 1.
Act 2 starts after the year, and then I had started Act 2 and was exploring. I talked to the guy who owes the casino's money, and I exhausted that text chain, and then went over to your house to help route a wire.
So in Act 2, I love it, and you'll see why. You want to get on this ship to follow Meche to wherever the hell she went. And you have to get tools, you have to get a union card, and something else. Or you have to get the sailor who's supposed to be on the ship to not show up so you can take his place. To get the union card, you have to go to the sea bees, and the sea bees are actual bees that work in the dockyards, and I know, right? And put together the ships. But they've been put out of work for some reason or another, and he's all like, you know what? Why are we stuck here having our faces crushed by boots, and we should have the means to produce things. And I'm like, I see where this is going. So then you go to this club and you find these jazz type people who are listening to slam poetry, and they have a red book sitting on their table, and you have to go through another couple things. They're like, hey, can I borrow your red book? And then you give the red book to the CBs. They're like, seize the means of production. Exactly. That's what we have to do. And then they go on strike, and the cops come and arrest them. You got to bust them out of jail. It's so great.
That's really funny.
Yeah. It is so tongue in cheek though. It's so much fun.
Again, even talking about it right now makes me want to play the Monkey Island game.
Yeah.
It makes me. I wonder because I was reading that a Monkey Island came out in 2000, 2 years after. I was reading about it just a moment ago, but I can't imagine that. It's like when I played Fallout 3. I tried to go back to Fallout 2. It was Fallout 2 to 3 is a very different game.
Wasn't too top down.
Yeah. But there's so many other games where I played a more a newer game in the series, like Caesar 3. Tried to go back and play Caesar 2. It wasn't. You lose so many quality of life things, and I wonder.
Caesar 3 is hard enough to play now.
Now the advantage is that this is a remaster from 2015. But if you went back to play even Escape from Monkey Island 2 or 1, if it would be playable, or if it would be like when we went back to play Command and Conquer, where it was like, oh my god, the interface is just Red Alert 2 rather. The interface was so frustrating because it was so many little quality of life things that weren't around.
Yeah. I mean, you could say the same for Grim Fandango because all they did was update the graphics.
Gloomy Frowning Douglas.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
All they did was update the graphics. And added the point and click aspect. It was only WASD.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't a point and click.
Yeah, no, that wasn't there before. I mean, you could point and click obviously to do things, but you couldn't move him by doing so.
The one thing that was there, which I thought was kind of interesting, and I didn't expect that to be in a game of that time, and apparently it was one of the first games to do it, was head tracking. Where when there's an item that you could see, he's actually looking.
Yeah. Well, that's why they did that, because you have to walk around and then he'll look at a thing and you're like, okay, I can interact with it.
And they're one of the first games to do
I didn't even notice that, but I would be like, what the fuck's he looking at? I didn't even put two and two together.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. All right.
But I think that would probably stand for Monkey Island, because these are games that even if they hadn't remastered it, I could go back and play the original Grim Fandango.
The thing is, if you didn't own it, which you do, you still have the CD-ROM. Although you don't have anywhere to play it.
You ripped the CD drive out of my.
The thing is, it kind of fell until this remaster came along the same lines as what we want to play. What we desperately wanted to play for this podcast was Black and White.
Yeah.
Where you could not.
You can't find it
anywhere before the remaster.
Because Lionhead went under, and I think EA bought them, and EA is EA, and has no.
They put up their ass to give us the finger.
They don't see a way to make money off of Black and White, which
is there a remaster coming out
of Black and White?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. No,
they don't even let you buy it.
No, it's not.
They have
anywhere,
it, and they won't let you buy it. Like it's crazy, and not for nothing. I couldn't find a pirate copy.
I had the disc, your old disc, on my computer, and
it won't run.
Still be there.
It won't run.
Yeah, because we could spoof Windows, and then one listener might do it with us and tell us how we did it.
Yay! Hey, if anyone knows how to get a copy, legitimate or otherwise, of Black and White, let us know. CommandCenterPodcast@gmail.com.
If it involves
please.
Acts of terrorism against EA, I support it personally, but the podcast does not.
The views spoken by Nate Lamb in no way reflect upon Command Center Podcast. You guys don't support
acts of terrorism against EA?
No.
Oh. Shit. I guess
God forbid something bad happens at EA, and now we're on some kind of crazy. We all get arrested, spread your cheeks, and lift your sack.
I may not like it, but they still have the Star Wars IP for a while.
Whenever I land at airports, I'm getting picked up. I'll be like, "Yes, please," to whoever's picking me up. Like Chip in Wyoming. Hey, please pick me up so we can kill the president together. Hey, by the way, the NSA is watching you now. I've done that to Mark like 3 times. I think I've done that to you a few times. So,
don't shoot, I'm an American.
Yeah. Yes! Don't shoot, I'm an American.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like these days that doesn't really go over the same way. But like, don't shoot, I'm an
Ooh, do we want to get political?
So I neglected to mention Bill Shaver, as we're calling him now.
Wait, what game did Bill Shaver make?
Oh man, I had a good one for you. Oh man,
Gringus Fingus Dingus.
It was like great. No,
great fucking dick.
No, more nuanced.
Oh okay.
So when I was watching that video, I saw him for the first time. I was like, man, this guy looks like somebody. And do you guys remember? Probably not his name, and I'm gonna probably butcher it. Bobby Moynihan.
No.
So he's the dude from Derek Comedy.
I don't remember Bobby Moynihan.
And he's on SNL now. He's the guy who did Guy Fieri. He's on the bro raper. He's like, where's Chad?
You are a bad man. You are the friend of a bad man.
Does he not look like him?
So I looked up Mr. Bill Shaver earlier when I was doing my Wikipedia research, and yes, he does. No, I know who he is.
Yeah. I could not take it any seriously. Like, what is it, Bobby Moynihan?
I completely forgot his name was actually Tim Schafer until I was literally in his picture and I was like, oh wait, who the fuck's Bill Schafer?
Hey, I mean, on the off chance that Mr. Tim Schafer ever listens to this,
I hope so.
Listen, I'm sorry, man. We're not trying to be disrespectful. We love your game, but Bill Shaver sounds better. Might want to think about changing your name. Just saying.
Oh, God. Facebook search Bill Shaver. That was a mistake.
Yeah, don't do that.
I guess we might as well just go into least favorite and...
Oh, yeah, we haven't done the bit yet, yeah. All right. Yeah.
Our one segment!
Yeah.
All right, audience. It's time for our one segment.
Have we started?
I started a while ago, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was just about to suggest something. Sorry, my bad.
You can still suggest something.
Well, I already forgot.
Daniel, what was your favorite part about Escape from Dingus, Monkey Island, LeChuck's Revenge, Ground, Franklin Delano?
Yeah, my favorite part about Bill Shaver is... I really, really, really did love the art style. I liked the art deco everywhere. I liked the film noir aesthetic. I liked all the tongue-in-cheek jokes. As much as it frustrates me, I love how hard it is. Even though sometimes it's difficult to admit that, like, fuck, I need to look it up because I want to sit here for the next, maybe couple of days and mull this over.
Years.
But
yeah.
I already had the issue where I came upon a puzzle that I couldn't solve, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna stop playing for tonight, and I'll come back to it in like a day. And then I ended up waiting like 3 days. When I came back, I had no idea where I was or what I was supposed to be trying to do. There's no quest log.
Yeah.
So that would be my least favorite is the lack of any sort of heads-up display or if you have to go through your items, you have to go one by one through his jacket, pulling them out. Which how the fuck does he fit that all in there? Anyway?
Yeah.
But
like the 2 full balloons, the extendable
his scythe.
Yeah.
But I guess I loved the aesthetic of it. I liked how funny it was. I liked how hard it was. But I wish that it was a little easier to get through. A quest log would be great. Like this is where you're at. This is what you're trying to do. Maybe a little hint. What about you?
Oh, me? I really liked it was engrossing, I guess would be the word. Like the characters, the writing. So it's got to be the writing because the few times that it's easy when you're playing a video game to step outside of the video game and be sitting in a chair playing a video game, which is not why you're playing a video game. If you're doing that, it's to defeat you. You and I are playing a competitive game and I'm trying to beat you. That's why I'm stepping out of the video game. With this one, it stuck me in the game, and the few times I was about to step out, the few times I was about to lose the illusion of the game, Manny would make these little in passing jokes that would they were things I was thinking, and that was really engrossing to me. It put me in the game, and to the point that I'd play 4 or 5 or 6 hours and be like, I gotta stop because I haven't moved in 6 hours. And that's something I don't find as much in modern video games, and maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's me, maybe it's modern video game design or style.
Or getting old.
Yes, also, yes, the problem of my growing prostate. I have to pee all the time. Yeah, I understand that. And then least favorite.
It's a growing problem. Remember that commercial?
Yeah, that was the joke. Yeah.
I know, I'm trying to remember exactly what they said. Sorry, go ahead.
You don't have a going problem.
You have a growing problem. Yeah.
Problem.
You have a growing fat prostate problem.
Activia.
That's for your growing fat butthole.
Colon.
Grim Fandango. That's the closest name ever. Least favorite, definitely all the puns we've been making off the name, but I'm really enjoying that, so that's a lie.
I was going to say.
The least favorite by far was all right, I know I'm supposed to do 1 of 3 things, trying to figure it out, and then doing the first one wrong, all right, it's got to be one of these other 2 things, and doing that and this wrong. And it only happened once or twice, because I didn't play that far into the game, then going to do the third thing and it's wrong. It's well, then what the fuck am I supposed to do? And being completely at a loss. And I looked at a walkthrough that showed me stuff, and then I found another walkthrough last night, which was great, because it insults you while it tells you how to beat the game. And it's great, aren't you happy you looked up the answer rather than figuring it out on your own? How about you close this damn walkthrough and go play the game as it's meant to be played, which was really cool, for a website to be turn the website off and play the fucking game, you stupid idiot.
I think that's really cool, because I always feel like an asshole when I have to look that shit up.
Yeah.
And they're right, but they're also wrong, because I think the way the game is meant to be played is, you just sit here and figure it out yourself, because when I was first playing it, Google did not exist.
No, yeah.
There was no way to look this up.
You and your friends were supposed to play it, and it'd be oh, Jason, I'm stuck on this part. And you'd be oh, maybe look at the clock again. But he would try to not give it away. And, it was supposed to be a whodunit book you were all reading at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could never imagine completing this game without
taking your pants off.
Without Google in any sort of reasonable amount of time. Definitely not a month.
No, God, no. Yeah.
And, this was with us having Google.
Mm-hmm.
We were moving and there was a lot of other stuff happening, but even if I was sitting there and I was playing it every night, if I didn't have any sort of help, I couldn't see doing this in a month. It would take me quite a while, which I like that as well, because I like to take time in my games.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What about you, Jay?
So for Great Fat Dunder Mifflin, my favorite, I think I already touched on, was definitely the voice acting.
Yep.
Very big in that. I think what the word you were trying to find was immersion.
What did I say?
I don't know what you said, but you were definitely describing the word.
Yeah. I think you're right. I was immersed. Yeah, I probably right.
Immersed.
I'm
on my third.
Unless the voice acting isn't there, I'm not going to get there. And on top of that, to boot, the soundtrack was amazing. I haven't enjoyed a soundtrack like that since. An outlier would be. I would say. God damn it, Doom would be an outlier just because it's like, man, who the hell puts a heavy metal like soundtrack in a video game? So that's kind of separate. But I think well, I haven't enjoyed a soundtrack since probably
Halo?
Jet Set Radio Future. Oh damn, there you go. Or Halo. There you go.
Skyrim.
Yeah. Skyrim not as good. I mean, the intro was good, but but Halo definitely hit the spot where I just thoroughly just enjoyed it, and it
melts perfectly with
it got me into it. Mm-hmm. My least favorite was that I wanted to finish the story so much, and it was killing me that due to my stupidity, it was blocked off because I couldn't solve all this shit.
It's not stupidity.
No, I understand that.
Did you not pull up a walkthrough at all the whole time?
No. So I did have to pull up a walkthrough during that. Manny, what are you doing?
No monkey business, Calavera.
Yeah, that part. Also, Gladys, fuck you. I hate that dude.
Dude, Gladys is the most
he's awesome.
annoying character.
I loved him.
You would, Nate, because you are Gladys.
Yeah, I am.
Oh man, no, I'm gonna let you finish, but Gladys was the most annoying character of all time.
I'm gonna let you finish, but let's talk about how awesome Gladys was.
Man.
But yeah, that part was like one of the times I had to
That was
look
Act
up.
1, right?
That was still in
I
Act 1.
recognize the quote, I just don't remember.
Yeah, it was during
the petrified tree.
Yeah.
That was knocking back and forth, and he had to put the weights on. Yeah,
that part for some reason it was just getting me.
There were some things like that thing. I solved it, but I don't know how I did. I just did trial and error.
The balloon, same way. I literally one of my first notes on this was I don't understand how a child was supposed to beat that fucking balloon thing.
Yeah. But to fill it up with the things?
Yeah.
I did that as a child. But I think that was just through trial and error, and I was
that's literally the only way. I was just like, maybe this is gonna. Yeah. But also to connect it to go upstairs and put it through the tube. I was just on a whim.
Both compounds, not just one of them.
Well, that I understood. That was the only part I did understand because you needed both of them to make the foaming mechanism.
To make it.
But I don't know. I was just like, man, to go the back and forth. I don't think kids, even us now, we're melded into it, have the attention span to keep going back and forth.
I don't know. I mean, that one specifically, it's like you can get empty balloons, so you know that you can fill them with something. You have two compounds, and it makes it goes out of its way to show you that they harden. Mm-hmm. And when you fill the balloons, it's a perfect cylinder to put in that thing. So that kind of led you on that way.
So did you say attention span?
No, I mean maybe data
spanned. Intentionally.
Denard spanned.
But no, I get that, but for the detail of just keep going back and forth, and
it feels like you're wrong. It feels like you're doing something wrong.
The first time I did it, I was like, "Oh, cool!" And I watched the balloon explode, and nothing happened. I was like, "Oh my god!" Now I have to go get two balloons and get both compounds because I was just shoving random shit in the mailbox.
Going back to what you said about Manny, and his quips, it's really funny saying that because every time I'm thinking of the Manny that we know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Same here. I imagine us controlling him in all this situation.
He's a listener, so he will hear that.
That was so weird.
we harmonized there, right? That was evil harmonic laughter.
I was putting my beard, I looked up, and you guys were both laughing at the same time, looking at me. That was the creepiest shit I've seen in a really long time.
But when, at least I had to do that part twice, and put the tubes back, or put the balloons back in, the secretary was like, I should really stop doing this.
That's funny.
It's true. Yeah. He's just like, why would anybody do that? Now I'm doing it. I really shouldn't break this lock, but
I just locked an unlocked door. Poignant.
Oh yeah, when he's open,
locked an open door.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
What's he talking about with the it's the mail sorting room? He walks in and he stops and he has a little soliloquy, or I clearly don't know what the fuck that word means. He says a little thing that's somewhat poetic, And it is about death and everything else. And he's like, well, back to business. And it's like, you walk into a mail sorting room in an office, man, and he just like drops this deep philosophy, and then it's like, oh, right.
That's what makes it good. I mean,
yeah, definitely, yeah.
The writing was impeccable. It's better than a lot of shows that I watch, which isn't really saying much because I watch shit shows. But either way, so you're gonna keep playing it, Nate.
Yeah,
you're gonna keep playing it, Jay. I'm gonna keep playing it too. I say we come back to this in the sit rep. So make sure you guys listen to that because maybe I hope that some of y'all finished it.
Add 5 minutes to the sit rep to talk about this game.
Exactly. Tell us how stupid we are because I want to hear that.
Yeah. Tim,
I feel like an asshole.
Shaver or Bill Fan Douglas.
So next month, you guys, we're really excited about this one. We're going to be doing Rogue Squadron. Rogue Squadron, another 1998 game, oddly enough.
Best year ever.
Best.
Didn't the Nintendo 64 come out that year? I think it did.
Wait, it came out in 64.
Rogue Squadron was not was really?
Yeah, that was. Oh no.
On release? I don't think so.
So
Nate's got to look it up.
It came out in 96?
Maybe. I don't know. We're doing Rogue Squadron. You can get it for $10 pretty much everywhere. You can get it on Steam, Humble
September
Bundle.
96, yeah.
All right, well.
Steam, Humble Bundle, Origin if you're, one of those people.
Satanist.
Good old games. It's $10. Or you might still have an old copy on 64, which I do, and I'm going to play that as well as the remastered, which is on Steam and other things.
Like an actual remaster, or
yeah, they did a remaster.
Oh,
it's on
cool.
Steam. $10. Yeah, and everywhere else. I'm probably gonna do the 64. I'm excited to go back and play it on the controller.
Yeah, do you remember the cheat codes to get?
Dead DAC.
There were cheat codes.
Oh yeah.
I never owned the 64.
Tons
so
of them.
I always had to play it at your house.
So Dead DAC, I believe, is the cheat code to get all of the ships. There's
what was the one to get?
Farm Boy is to get the Millennium Falcon. I think.
Yeah, but what was the one to get to the Phantom Menace, the yellow one?
Oh, the Naboo Starfighter.
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't remember. I don't remember all the cheat codes. There is like one master cheat code, and I forget what it is. But you put it in and it unlocks all the other cheat codes.
It's Shiv Palpatine.
Sheev.
No, you want to shiv him, and then you've unlocked everything. Okay.
But we're going to be playing that one. It should be a good time. It'll be nice and short. It's easy. No multiplayer, so I'm going to see you fucks.
You don't play multiplayer with us in multiplayer games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you fucks.
Do you video chat with him?
What?
It's a joke. Never mind. Go ahead. Verb choice. He said C. I'm just going to hang on.
Rogue Squadron. So we kind of picked this one because I hope that you guys have seen the trailers for Squadron. Is it called Squadron or Squadrons?
No idea, but also so we can get the accidental searches.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I was just trying to get the right name of the game. EA is having that game come out. It looks like they're kind of like not really a spiritual successor because it's only
Squadrons.
Squadrons, yeah. Squadron based. What is it? 5v5 multiplayer space battles. It looks like a more refined, fun version of the space battles from Battlefront 2, the original one. The original one. Why are you mumbling over there? What's going on?
I'm just looking at it. I'm excited about it, but I told myself I'd never give EA another $1. I'm very conflicted about it. I got till October to figure this shit out.
Exactly, yeah. I think October 2nd, right?
Yeah.
But we're hoping to get some listens out of that because hopefully you idiots have searched for that and now you stumbled across us. And hey, welcome. We always want new people.
I drive a Nissan Rogue. We're going to play EA's Squadrons. Rogue Squadron. That's the game we're playing.
That's how we chose it.
Plate is
AJP.
And now what's your social?
Sexy U? 6CU, because my dad always said sexy U and it's 6.
Your dad called you sexy? That's kind of fucking weird.
It was my sister's plate before it was mine.
Your dad called
Shut
your
the
sister
fuck up.
sexy? That's kind of fucking weird.
No, that's actually a combination of 2 plates because I want to get my goddamn license plate out on the podcast.
Oh, one more thing though.
Yes.
God damn it! I cannot believe I forgot this. Demon Beaver was your mom's nickname in high school.
It's Fire Beaver.
No, it was Demon Beaver.
Was it? I remember it was Fire Beaver. Because they talk about it like, when you get the key, it's like, they're fiery and they chew on you with their big tails. I was like,
I really loved how you were had to flip through your
pages to remember Demon Beaver.
It's in here somewhere. Let me just leaf through this here. Ah, yes, Demon Beaver.
So for the record, you guys obviously killed the fire beavers, the demon beavers.
Yes, I know your mom.
Good night, y'all. I hope you have a great night.
Yes, it's been nice. Make sure you guys hit us at commandcenterpodcast@gmail.com.
No, we're not talking about this. The beavers, how you had to kill them was ridiculous, because you couldn't just make them jump in a tower. You had to make them jump specifically head first through a column of fire extinguishing foam.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can talk about it on commandcenterpodcast@gmail.com, commandcenter.games. Get us on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and now we're on YouTube. Let us know what you think. We love you. Let us know about demon beavers and how difficult it was to kill them. I don't give a fuck.
Fire beavers and their mothers and whatnot.
Bye.
Great fart dung hole.
Gritty Franklin Templeton Insurance.